This is To the Rescue Authentic Networking. I'm Jennifer Johnson, Executive Director of TTR Networking and a relationship marketing coach. This show is all about the authentic business networking, relationship building, and the success strategies used by our members to grow their businesses and give back to local nonprofits. Be sure to stay up to date. Subscribe to our YouTube channel by clicking the bell to get notifications of new episodes, and please visit our website, www.ttrnetworking.com. Now, on with the show.
Welcome to our show, To the Rescue Authentic Networking. We are so glad that you are here today. I am Nicole Williams, along with my co-host, Don Evans Casey, Jennifer Johnson. Hey there.
Hello.
Jennifer, what's happening?
Well, we actually have a great show today, and we have a lot of things to look at because we have Christy Johnson.
Yay.
And she is the owner of The Bountiful Board. And it is thebountifulboard.com, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Christy,
how's that the in there?
Yeah, we got to make
That's
sure
important.
because you put Bountiful Board. I don't know. I probably bring up a number of other stuff. We are just so excited. Actually, Christy's one of our members. She's in our Westfield group, and she's been there for a few months at least, even during this whole pandemic thing. So, Christy, we're going to go back, and I am going to, while you're starting to talk, I'm going to try to share because I can share. It doesn't sound right. I know how to share. Okay, I'm going to share pictures from her website because when you see the Bountiful Board stuff, you'll understand. So, Christy, tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and how has this pandemic COVID stuff affected your business. And I will go ahead. You look gorgeous, but we want to see your gorgeous stuff on your website. So.
Thank you. No, sure. Yeah. So, gosh, I was talking to Jennifer the other day about my story, and I'm sure lots of other moms and women can kind of relate to this, but my background, I guess, is kind of in property management, inside sales. I was a stay-at-home mom. I have 3 kids. I'm married, 19 years, and I have 3 boys. My oldest is just started med school, and then I have a senior and a junior at Westfield High School. So I was a stay-at-home mom for 10 years, and then I just kind of, I don't know, I didn't really know what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I found myself in my 40s, and I'm like, what am I doing? I was working for an insurance company with a great guy, but it was not for me. I'm great with people. I love working with people, but it was just so boring. It just wasn't me. And I'm making these charcuterie boards for my friends. And so I'm like, what am I doing? Why don't I just try and start my own thing and see if it takes, if it's a thing. You know, I wasn't sure. I love parties. I love people. I love to get together and have gatherings. So I hosted a wine tasting for a really good friend of mine, and I can't do anything small. So I asked my husband if he could build a board that is food safe as long as my island, which is like 9 feet long. And he's like, sure. So we did, and I loaded it up, and oh my gosh, they just were going on. And I'm a pretty crafty person. I love to make flower arrangements and decorate cakes. And I love food. So I don't know, it kind of took, and here I am. I've never owned my own business. So I still don't really know what I'm doing, but it's going, it's working. COVID hit kind of hard. I was finally, I started this business almost 2 years ago, October of 2018. I didn't really it was kind of a hobby. Like I LLC'd it and I started the Bountiful Board, but I didn't have a place. And so I quit the insurance job just to really focus on it 100%. I'm like, why am I doing both? Let's just go with the Bountiful Board and give it all I got. So, and then COVID hit. So I was getting some momentum, and I was on Channel 8 Indie Style, and Channel 13 was getting ready to interview me, and then that got canceled because COVID hit, and then I had to shut down for 8 weeks. So that was kind of a big bummer. And then when I started, luckily, I'm very blessed that I only pay kitchen rental while I'm working. They don't charge me like monthly. So it really worked out. I'm starting back up. And so then I kind of had to adapt, and I thought of these cups, these single serving cups, and they've been a big hit. So that's kind of up to speed where I'm at with everything right now. And people are slowly starting to have more gatherings and starting to go back to ordering the boards. I mean, the cups are great, but the boards are just, they're just such a beautiful presentation. And my motto is, I want to help everybody shine at your event. And they do. They're just, usually the highlight of the food. So.
Well, you know what? I got the website, ladies. Can you all see this? Because I actually, we practiced before the show, and then I clicked on something that took me to Google somewhere, so I'm sure everybody saw that. But charcuterie, do you know where the name comes from, Christy? Because where's that from?
It's French. Yeah.
It's French.
It's French for the word, I think meat.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that, but I think I should probably know that.
Well, and I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I mean, if you go to the bountifulboard.com, which we can all see, you see some of Christy's work there, or she's working, and it looks like, and we're all talking about it before the show, we're all hungry.
I know.
That's good.
Makes us even hungrier. But it's all kinds of things. So people literally, you customize unique charcuterie boards, and then you decided, okay, you've got to do something different because you gotta work with what you got.
Right.
And you created these cups. So, and Dawn, what did you ask about? Because you're a chocolate lover.
I'm a chocoholic.
And in these, the fruit and cheese, right? Is that where it is?
There's chocolate in the cheese ball cups. It's like a little sweet and salty mix. And then there's chocolate in the traditional charcuterie cups.
Wow.
Good chocolate too. Dark chocolate.
It's gorgeous.
Yummy, yummy.
Wow.
Gorgeous.
Well, you owe it to yourself to check this out, just to ooh and ah and drool over all the pretty, the pictures are great. And I've had the pleasure of getting a couple of these charcuterie boards. I bought one, and then a couple were gifted to us when we had a family death. And I'm telling you, she rises to the occasion. It does not matter at all. We can come back to this, but this is gorgeous. So I'm going to stop the share, and we'll go on. Go ahead, Dawn, or Nicole. I think you had a question.
Well, I am so excited to talk to Christy. Thank you for being here. And
my pleasure.
Actually, I met you with my daughter, Lainey, who is 16. And we were invited to a faux wedding sponsored by Indie Bride to Be. And it was at the Cambria Hotel in Westfield, Indiana. And it was really cool. And a faux wedding is kind of like where the idea is to have all these vendors there, have a wedding happen. It's faux because usually it's not supposed to be like a real bride, a real groom, but something magical happened, Jennifer, when they were going to use the bride from the reception, the fake bride from the reception, but turns out she was actually really getting married. So they made it happen. It was a real wedding. So
it was cool.
Faux real. So, but when my daughter and I walked in, it's just gorgeous. Just Indie Bride just did such an amazing job, and this takes care of the brides. And it's funny because I think they gave Lainey a sash, which was kind of funny because they think Lainey's a little older. We got these bling rings. It was so much fun. But anyway, and everybody kept saying, "So, when's your wedding date?" And we're like, "What?" We don't know. But it was so cool because they had all the vendors there, or will help you make that wedding happen. So we got samples. But when we first walked in, there you were, and this beautiful table laid in with all these delicious foods, and it was just gorgeous. And it was so funny. And you're like handing plates. You're like, "Get some food," and we're like, "It looks really good, but what's so pretty to eat?" you know,
I
but it
hear
was
that a lot.
delicious.
I hear that a lot. I don't want to mess it up.
And it was more than that. It was you. You were just so sweet and so friendly and
Oh,
just so welcoming.
you.
And thank you. Just,
Oh.
you know, so I wanted to say that. So, but my question is, our show is all about being authentic, and we were just wondering, how do you use authentic for your business?
Yeah.
What does it mean to you?
You know, I think, gosh, just being true to yourself, being who you are. If you make a mistake, you know, you own it, you make it right, you just learn, grow, move on, and you just got to be honest and just be yourself. And that just sells itself, you know, when you're just, you know. And then another thing, I'm a small business, so I really try to always talk with my customers and be personal, and I try to go a step above when I can, if it allows me to, and see what I could do to make it special for that person. And, but you know, I think, I don't know, being authentic, it just kind of goes along with just being who you are.
Yes. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, Christy, it's a pleasure for me to meet you and talk to you. I'm charcuterie.
Yes.
It's not, you know, your average catering. It's not snacks. It's something different and special. So how do most people find you, or how do you usually come across business? How do you strike up that connection and let people know what you're about?
Sure. I think the biggest avenue or platform for me has been social media. One of the very first things I did was I hired a college student, and she helped me with my Instagram and connected me with influencers that are here in Hamilton County, and that's been huge. I didn't even know what an influencer was when I first started, and they are amazing, and they really get you connected in the community and with different businesses and in front of people. And then I met Jennifer with the TTR networking group, and that avenue has been wonderful. And I try to do events that I'm, you know, can go to myself, and it's hard with the boards, and like I'm kind of figuring out how to do these events and serve samples and things like that. But so yeah, I don't know. And then my husband does my website, and then I do the social media stuff now, but I think that's kind of the biggest avenue right now.
Yeah. Okay.
And just, you know, talking with people, and I'm always asking for people if they want to tag me in their social media post, and that's always kind of a big plus, and people, those friends of friends of friends get to see. And so
I'm sure the pictures and the samples, I'm sure, go a long way, because just as Jennifer pulled up the site, that visual of your creative display, like you said, whether people are hungry or not, I happen to be hungry right now. I'm sure that it really draws people in. So you've got a wonderful product there.
Oh, thank you so much.
And you know,
Means
the best part about it is they taste as good as they look. I mean, you do hate to eat them because it actually kind of like just starts to dismantle the thing, but but these are so good. And we like I said, we had one or a couple of them. We did a fruit and vegetable, I think, one, and then we had one that was more meats and cheeses for my father-in-law's after my father-in-law's funeral. And you do hate to take them apart, but my granddaughter's eating all the strawberries, and I think there were other. It's just kind of, you know, it's just a really neat thing. Yeah, and I can imagine that right now with the pandemic, that is, you had to be creative. You had to think, you know, how do I do this? And I know you shared with us that you kind of struggled there for a week or two to get that right. But what a great, and definitely I would understand social media. It's got to be a big part of what you're doing, because people have to see what it is.
Right.
When somebody says charcuterie, I keep saying it to people, you got to meet Christy. You got, you know, I mean, if it helps, hopefully, but slowly but surely, but the whole idea that they can see it and and then just imagine how good it tastes, but then to actually get it, I am glad that we've been able to be a part of it. You know, my questions really at this point are the questions of how did you find us? You already said that, but it was me, but it wasn't me, because how did we meet actually?
Well, we met through a mutual friend that worked, my friend Dawn Claghorn. I've been friends with her for years. She's just a great, lovely woman. And she just started a new business as well, and it's a vegan bakery.
Yes.
And she said, "You got to meet my friend Jen," and she kind of introduced me to you, and she's just a big cheerleader for me too. So she thought this would be a good avenue to help me, you know, grow my business and to meet good people and just networking and giving back to the community, you know, with you guys. And
cool. Well,
yeah, I think she's in your Fishers group, I think.
Well, she was in our North Side group, and I
Okay.
think she is not a member right now, but
Okay.
the vegan thing I follow on Facebook, and I'm always like, you go, you know?
I know.
I mean,
I'm excited
I
for her.
don't know if I could do all vegan. I don't eat a lot of beef and stuff, but you know, I'm all more power to her.
I tease her all the time that I think I would die, so.
But it looks really, I mean, most of the stuff really looks good. And I mean, that's the power, you know, even if I know your stuff tastes great, but if for some reason it didn't, I think you get people who are just like, it's so visually pleasing that I don't know why they wouldn't, you know, give it a shot. But,
and there's something for everybody on the boards too, whether you're, you know, if you're on keto or you're a vegetarian or, you know, you're diabetic. I mean, there's something that what I think is great about these boards is there's something for everybody on that board. So it meets everybody's needs that comes to your event, and I can do gluten-free. I haven't done a vegan board, but I could easily do that. But so that's kind of a bonus too.
Yeah. Can you all see it now again? I'm flashing it up on the screen because she does have, when you get down below the cups, she's got a whole thing that's the keto board and all of those. I mean, people are still ordering those, aren't they?
Yeah, I think my orders have slowed down on the boards a little bit. I think definitely the grazing tables, you know, people aren't, I don't think, ready for that yet. But unless, I think people that are ordering the boards are just doing it with their immediate family or really close friends and family. But yeah, but the cups have been really popular. I just did a big wedding and I made 150 of them. So, and for their appetizers, and it was the traditional charcuterie cup in the brown craft cups, and they were, yeah, it was a big order. It was fun. Well,
and I would just say, I know I'm kind of going, I'm looking and I'm reading and I'm forgetting that other people are probably reading and I'm going all over the place. But I would definitely, it is the bountifulboard.com. And I'm not jumping ahead to the end. I'm not at all. I'm going to just say, I know with the story that I would say is right before the holidays last year, Christy, you were in our groups as an insurance lady. And then after the holidays, you came back. And I remember I was trying to get communication, I think, to you. I was trying to figure it out. And I realized you were no longer an insurance lady. Now you were a Bountiful Board. And I think that's really cool. So, you know, I mean, obviously you get business through networking, right? I mean, it's worked for you. And you were I don't know. I have nothing to do with your success. I'm glad that that the networking's been good. Do you have any other little stories to tell about? Like maybe not even TTR, maybe something else. Has anything else turned into a big, long, fun connection that turned into, I mean, how'd you get the wedding you just did?
How did I get the wedding? Oh, it's a friend of mine, and her daughter got married, and I helped her with the flowers too, and then did the appetizer cups. And I think networking is just so important. I mean, that is literally how I've been successful, even down to my kitchen rental, because I've never owned my own business. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm literally just flying off the seat of my pants. And I finally hired Melissa to do my bookkeeping because I don't know what I'm doing. And I had to find a commercial kitchen to work out of, and that's really difficult right now. There's just not a lot of commercial kitchen spaces, I guess, for rent. And if there's, I think maybe 2, and they're very pricey. So just through talking with people, and I found out that there was a nice couple here in Westfield, and they own 2 businesses on Park Street, which is a very busy, up and coming local street in Westfield that's got a lot of these really cute houses that they've converted into restaurants. So they own the Rail and they own the Cone and Crumb, and they said, you know, we're a small business. We started out small. We really want to help you with your business. And so they offered up their basement in the Cone and Crumb. It's a little ice cream dessert shop, and it's got like a full commercial kitchen down there. So that's where I'm renting from, and they are just wonderful. When I first met him, he said, my job is to get you out of my kitchen. And I had to think about that. I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, no, because you'd be so successful that you have your own place. So yeah. I've really just met wonderful people through my business. And I keep saying lucked into all these opportunities, but I really feel like it's just meant for me. It might have took me till my mid-40s to figure out what I'm doing, but I love it. It doesn't feel like work. I'm such a people pleaser, and I think I told Jennifer this almost to a detriment sometimes, but I tell people, no, take credit for it when I drop the board off. You know, I want your party to just be, you know, successful, and for everybody to compliment the host, you know, for the host to get all the creds and everything. So I don't know. I really, really love it.
That's cool. And I think
I like making people happy, and everybody loves food.
Right. When anybody talks about they just like to serve people and to help them and do what's right, and I don't want credit. And I genuinely hear that in you. I think there's some people, oh, I don't want credit, but I did this, and that. No, I can totally, and I've known you long enough.
I'm always the person to bring meals. I've just always, I think that's my gift, is hospitality. So
well, and it does come back to you. It may not yet, but I think it is, because people know how great you are and they're sending it. And now you're on our show. So Dawn, you have a question for her?
I do. Yeah. Christy, I love your spirit, and I love that very giving vibe that you display. One of the big tenets of the TTR networking is support of local nonprofits and community groups. So I was wondering if you would share with us which nonprofits and community groups you're interested in, and those that your group sponsors or contributes to, and kind of tell us how that contribution, how that sharing has looked in the past.
Sure. I know our Westfield TTR group is sponsoring Open Doors of Westfield, and it's a local food pantry. It's a food pantry, and then also has clothing and I think household items too. Okay. And so we're kind of new. We're kind of a new group. So we just in the last few months had some nonprofit people come in, speak about the organization, and we just voted on Open Doors. So we haven't partnered with them a lot, but I know that it's on the books in the future. We're definitely going to be doing some things with them. Me personally, I am involved in, I'm on their, I'm on the, it's kind of like their fundraising committee. I can't remember the name of the committee, but it's for the Dove Recovery House in downtown Indianapolis, and it's a recovery program that houses women with addiction and helps them through the recovery process. And I think it's got 41 beds, 39, 40, 41, something like that, beds that they have women that stay there. And I do a lot of volunteering with that group as well.
Is it called Dove Recovery?
Okay. Dove Recovery House. Yeah, .org, I think. Mm-hmm. No, it's in downtown Indianapolis.
Okay, Indy. Okay. Sorry, I was trying to make notes here. And okay, cool. No, I've not heard of that one. Have you, Dawn?
I have not.
Yeah.
So certainly take a look at it and add it to our nonprofits.
Oh, yes. Yeah, it's such a good organization, and addiction right now with COVID and, you know, the stress of everything and people losing their jobs, and it's really a serious problem right now. So
Yeah.
so we're lucky to have some organizations to help, you know, the women and men struggling with that every day. So I know that there's a big, long waiting list for people to get in. So
Thank you for what you do, Christy.
yeah, well, thank you guys, and thanks for having me.
You are welcome. You're just so amazing. I just love this. I love the
Aw.
stories and all you do. How can our audience find you? What are some
Sure.
ways we can find you?
Yeah, so I have a website, thebountifulboard.com, where you can place your orders, and most all the information's on there. Like, you know, how do I get the board? Do I get the board back to you? My prices, what comes with it. So it's pretty detailed on there, but you know, I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. You know, my phone number is on my website, so you can text me. And, you know, I love to, you know, send people photos if they're, you know, wanting to look for an idea for their event. And we have all different kinds of things. You know, we can, you know, layer boards and raise boards and do the whole table. There's so many different ideas for different events and parties, and we could definitely customize and do what anybody wants.
But she is in our Westfield group.
So we can also go
Oh, yes,
to
TTR.
the www.ttrnetworking.com.
And
Networking tab.
Networking, and find her under the Westfield group. And if she's not there, I don't know what to do with her, but I think
we will get her there.
We will get her there. Yes. Good. Go
Thank
ahead.
you. Nope, I'm good.
I think, you know, basically, ladies, this so unique and so fun to be able to show her work. I mean, we talked about it right before the thing. We'll go back real quick and just show if somebody does not know what a charcuterie looks like, and she believes it's French, so she's going to maybe do a little more research on that, but I believe it is too. But there's everything. I mean,
it's amazing. There's olives, there's everything.
Yeah,
there's
chocolate,
crackers and meats and
salami, and she's even got those pea pods. I mean, like, everything is here. And you've got cheese and dips and stuff that goes in part of that. You're obviously you can reach out to her through the website, but she's got these lovely, yummy, and I don't know where to put us, guys.
Wonderful idea.
But she's got, I'll put that for a minute. She's got veggie and ranch cups and cheese ball cups and fruit and cheese cups and just the plain old charcuterie bowl.
So these are the ones at the wedding. Were these the ones for the 150 people at the wedding that you did, Christy?
It was just the traditional, if you keep going down.
Okay.
Let's see. Right there. Yep.
Yes,
yeah.
I thought so. Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Can you
Absolutely
imagine
gorgeous.
what a party it feels like when you get
so elegant and
yes.
yeah.
I mean, those of us who've been, I'm sorry, I'm getting pop-ups all over the place on my screen.
All right.
I keep getting rid of them. They keep coming back. But we just are so, you know, I mean, just you walk in, can you imagine you just feel like you're in a festive thing. And we had them at our leaders meeting, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what a party. I mean, my grandmother used to say that, but what a party, you know, it just steps it up. That doesn't mean you don't necessarily have other things, but you really don't have to, right?
Right.
You can just
yeah.
have this.
That's always my first question to the customer is when they ask me, well, how big, what size do I need? And my first question, well, are you having other food?
Yeah.
Because that does make a difference, and I don't want them, but the beauty about these boards is if you have extra, you can, back it up, and you can make even a smaller board yourself, with all the leftover stuff. So usually, yeah. So I always tell people, just make a little small plate out of the leftovers and have lunch the next day. Yeah. So.
Boy, we are all going to be very hungry after this, and we can't get a charcuterie board fast enough, or the cups fast enough. We'll have to get them soon. You know what? I guess our question. Oh my gosh, I got to stop share. Wait a minute. Okay, that's what I need to know. Okay, so Christy, we're going to give you the floor here. Just what are some final thoughts? We just thank you so much for being here, and we're going to give you the floor.
I appreciate it so much, and for you guys having me and talking about the Bountiful Board. my final thoughts. Yeah, just I'm just here to make people's life easy. I know there's working moms that have, especially with e-learning and trying to balance working and e-learning, but they still want to get together with their friends. They still want to have, they still want to socialize. And that's where I come in. I can just do that part for you. It's easy. You order a board, you don't even have to worry about it. And that's my passion, is really just, helping others that's shine at their event, and just taking that stress. It's very stressful, what am I going to serve? What am I going to have? Well, you don't even have to worry about it. So I tell everybody, just let me do that for you, and then you can party on. So that's what I like the most, is just, I love gatherings. So COVID was really hard.
It's been hard on all of us, but party on.
Yeah.
Doesn't that sound good, ladies?
Party on. There you go.
Let's party on. We're gonna party even if there is a COVID thing. So Nicole, I don't know. I think we got all the questions. Take it away.
We got everything. Any final thoughts for Dawn? Do you have anything you'd like to add to our show?
I'm hungry.
I should have
Yes,
thought
we're all-
I should have delivered.
Here to
you
pass
guys
it
all
through
the-
I can't think of anything right now. All I can think of, I still have the image in my head of all
Well, that's good. That's great advertising.
It is great advertising. No
Pictures,
kidding.
just
Great.
pop.
Good thought.
Thank you.
Well, thank you again. Thank you, everybody. Just wanted to end this with, until next time, may all your days be filled with authenticity.
See you later.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.